Hello fellow Dicers, welcome to my latest video on Martyr. I'm going to say latest, even though this channel is probably only my second video on Martyr, but on my previous channel I covered this game a lot. So this is being released because there has been the latest update, which has brought the season journey to Inquisitor Martyr. But before I go into that, let's just go into something that's not quite so nice. So when I first loaded up the game after the update, this is what I was greeted with. Pixels jumping all over the place, and I can only say pixelated characters, and I mean pixelated to the extreme. Now, I thought this was just the opening section, so I did persevere, and I thought it would rectify itself when the game loaded in properly. As you can see, all of the menus and all of the text and everything are absolutely perfect. It only seems to be the character models and the background glitching out completely. So I jumped into the game, and basically this is what I experienced. Yep, we went back to the 1990s or PlayStation 1 style graphics. I tried everything, flame blending, all sorts of things, and it just got worse. Yes, that is not a reflection off the screen. That is actually a graphical bug that destroys half the screen as you rotate it. What's even funnier is that once you reset the camera and do a little bit of moving around, that graphical bug changes place. There you go. It's now over the center part of the bridge rather than the side. So yeah, it's not good. Now, interestingly, the way to fix it is to restore your default settings for your graphics. That's all you need to do. And to do that on console, it's press square. So all you need to do is, when you're on the graphics tab, or the video tab as it's called, press square to reset all of those to default, and it will look absolutely brilliant. And I say look absolutely brilliant, it does actually look better than it ever used to, which is really nice to see. But we'll get to that in a second. So yes, if you're experiencing these graphical bugs and it looks like trash, then please do go ahead, go into your video settings and press square. But anyway, let's go into a mission after I had reset my graphics and then re-enabled all of the changes I had previously made, because once you reset your graphics, you are then able to change your graphics to have frame blending off and all of that sort of thing. So the settings afterwards can be changed however you want. You just need to do that initial reset. But here we go. This is what it now looks like. Now, the stutter that used to be there is improved. It's not gone, and it does seem to get a little bit worse the more you've been in a mission. I don't know what it is. It's always been a bit of an enigma, because it's not a frame rate issue as most people claim it to be, because if it was a frame rate issue, your character would also be affected, and your character is not affected. If you watch your character, which is what I tended to do when I first played this game, you don't actually notice it at all. So it's only when you're looking at basically the background or the floor beneath you that you see these problems. If you just watch your character and then when an enemy comes on the screen, flick your attention to the enemy, everything's perfect. So that's possibly why for a very long time, when I first played this game, I didn't notice there was any problem with it. And I was picked up and pulled up on this quite considerably, saying, you play this so often, you're just a fanboy, how can you not have seen the frame rate issues, as they stated. As I've just said, it's not frame rate, it's a stutter problem with the background, and it only seems to affect the interactive background, as in the floor grates and things like that. If you go into a mission where you can see basically water around you and things like that, the water seems to be fine. It's only the gantry you're walking on. So yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. But let's get into what has actually changed with the update, apart from the improvement in graphical prowess. Even the flames and everything look better, and the explosions. So, yeah, I don't know what they've done, but the graphics seem to be improved, and the stutter seems to be improved. But, as I was about to say, what actually has changed? So, to see what has changed, you almost have to go out of the game, which seems counterintuitive. But I'll show you something in-game first, then I'll go to the part that's out of game. Okay, so firstly, we have an additional tab inside the Tech Priest, and this tells you every single enchantment that can appear per class in the game. It doesn't allow you to actually use those enchantments. All it does is it tells you what enchantments are available. I'm not sure how this helps in any respect, but I'm guessing it just means that you can then plan what you're looking for, so you can plan a build in advance. The chances of these things actually dropping, of course, is extremely low, so I'm not quite sure why they would do this. Say, look what you could have, but actually, you know, you might not ever find it. Other than that, it's quite useful because you can select whether it's a blue enchantment, a green enchantment, a legendary enchantment, an epic enchantment, etc, etc. So you can actually check per class of item, which, like I say, I do find that quite useful. You can do it also with seasonal only, which is also very nice. And that brings me on to the main part of the update, and that is this. When you create a new character, you now have the option of creating a character for any of the 7 seasons, and that includes the 2 seasons which did not release separately on console, and they are the Season of Escalation and the Season of Malediction. Now those 2 were basically released on PC over the last couple of years, and console never received them. So in essence, if you count the season journey as a separate season, console were 3 seasons behind. But now you can select them, and you can create any number of characters, up to your character limit of course, for any of those seasons, and just play through as much as you like. Interestingly, it carries over your progress from when the season was actually completed. So I have a character that was in Season of Judgment, which is the last one that was released on console, and when I created a new character that I haven't got in this video clip, but when I did create a new character, it carried on from where my old character left off. So that's interesting. What I might do is go back into some of my old like Season of the Inferno, just to see whether it does maintain the progress in that as well. But there we go. That's literally what the update brings. Now, I have to say, I am impressed with the graphical improvements. The textures and the resolution improvements are greatly appreciated. I would have liked more done for the stutter that has been present in the game since the release in effect. Playing the PS4 version on PS5 actually improved it considerably. And I would say with this update, and I have to preface this with the fact I am playing on a PlayStation 5 Pro, so I don't know whether that's going to have any effect. It doesn't say that it's PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced, so it shouldn't have an effect, but I can't say it won't have that effect. But I do like the fact they have improved the graphics, and the stutter is reduced from what it was on PS5. Once you know the little trick to remove the pixelated issue and the graphical bugs when you first boot up, I do think it's much better than it was previously, and that is nice to see. I do like the fact that they have all of the seasons available, etc, etc. What I am still a little irritated about is the fact we still do not have the Hierophant DLC. I know it's only just released on PC, but I still don't understand in this day and age why they can't do day and date release for all platforms at the same time. I know the console team is small, but that's up to Neocore to staff it properly, especially as console probably makes up around 50% of their player base. I'm estimating, I do not have full figures. But even so, if you want to grow a player base, you have to support that player base. And I have bought a number of players to this game over the years. From my old channel, Stubu Gaming, it was primarily the game that I focused on with that channel. And I did bring a number of players to the game via that channel. The fact that the console version, which I covered on that channel, I didn't cover PC at all, the console version just wasn't supported, is irritating beyond measure. You will not believe how irritated I am. The fact that I would say arguably one of my favourite games of all time is not being supported as much as it should be. Diablo 4, for instance, releases updates exactly the same time on all platforms. And yes, I know they have a much bigger team and a much bigger budget, but it shows it can be done if you staff correctly. Now, that's the only rant I'm going to do. I'm not going to go into anything else now. But suffice us to say is, when Hierophant DLC comes out and we have that new class, and if Neocore decide to continue supporting this game past its current state, and I am not including the fact that they are going to be bringing offline mode to console, which is already out on PC. Once they do that, I hope that is not saying they have given up development of the game. If they have, I hope it's so they can work on Inquisitor 2. I'm not going to say Inquisitor Martyr because it won't be, but I hope they are working on Inquisitor 2. If they do, this is a shout out to the developers. Please make sure you support your entire player base at the same time. If you need to hire more console developers, please do so. If you don't have the money, actually make money. And I mean, you did a lot of work for free. You supplied a lot of things for free, and you didn't need to do that. Now, I know people complained about the Sororitas DLC, but that's because it was a character class that you paid £15 for in the UK, and it came with nothing new apart from characters and a couple of bits of armour and weapons. Now, the previous version, which was Prophecy, was not much more, and it included an entire campaign. You could also sell a lot of DLC items, microtransactions, make loads of money for companies. You actually made a load of helmets and backdrops for your character, like portrait frames, and you gave them away for free. You could have sold those. So developers, if you want to make money so that you can hire more staff so you can make more money by making more games, then please do consider that. I said this at the time, and I know the team has greatly changed since then, but there's lots you can do to support the games that you have. Anyway, there we go. That's my little rant at the end. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope this has been informative, and I hope it does bring you back to Inquisitor Martyr. If you have enjoyed the video, please make sure you click the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and leave me a comment down below, and I look forward to seeing you for my next video very soon. You all take care. Bye for now.